Hi there, my name is Sharachandar K and welcome to the newest video on my channel. In this tutorial, you are going to learn how to build a beautiful website that scrolls through Parallax using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. As we can see the beautiful website here with a logo and menu items on top of the navigation bar, and below we can see a group of images that looks like a single image with text parallax website. Once the user scrolls through the website, they will be able to see the parallax effect on moving images on the screen. You can see the text goes backward on the leaf, and below we can see the simple text about parallax with the title parallax followed by the footer with copyright information, and with the menu we can jump to the session and see the parallax effect here. Without further delay, let's build our own. Here on my desktop, I have already created a project folder name called Parallax Scrolling Website. Let me open this into a Visual Studio Code. So for that, I will drag this directory into a Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code will automatically loads all the files inside it. Inside the directory, I have already created index.html, style.css and script.js. Along with this, we have one more folder name called images. Inside the image folder, we have separated the image to use the parallax effect here. I will attach this image into a description. Please make use of it. Inside the index.html, I have already added a HTML boilerplate with the help of exclamation mark, and I have changed the title to parallax scrolling effect by Sharachandar K. And I have linked other two files style.css and script.js. Now we'll add the header inside the body. So here I will add the header. Inside the header I am going to add the h1 tag, and then h1 tag as a logo. Along with this I will add the navigation bar with nav, and inside the navigation bar we are going to add the href. I will add the a tag with href of JavaScript void with 0 and then value of home, and I will set the class to active, and then second href of hash about, and then I will add the value of about, and then third href as hash contact, and I will close the href and then value of contact. Now let us see our HTML file in action. So for that, in Visual Studio Code we have a extension called live server. Here in the status bar we have a option to run to live. Once we click this, it will automatically run our project into the default browser. Now we can able to see the logo, about and then hrefs here. Now we need to style this. So for that I will jump to the style.css here. In the style.css we have already imported the URL of font family poppins, and I will add the asterisk means a wildcard. It is a global selector. With the help of this I have resetted the margin to 0, padding to 0, and I have added the font family poppins here with the import URL, and box sizing should be border box. Along with that, I am going to add the styles to the body with the help of element selector name called body, and I will set the background color to light gray color, and then I will set the min height to 100 VH and then overflow X to hidden. Now we'll add the styles to the header with the element selector name called header, and we'll set the header into a single liner with the help of display flags, and I will set the align items to center, and I will set the height of this header to be 100 px, and then padding of inner spacing should be 0 for top and bottom and 15% for right and left, and then we'll set the position to absolute, and then we'll set the width of 100 percentage, and then we'll set the z index to 100. We'll place the gap of each item should be 250 px. If I save, now we can able to see the logo and then hrefs with the gap of 250, and it has aligned into the center of the header. And now we'll add the styles to the header h1 of sub element of font size 40 px, and then I will set the color to black. If I save, now we can able to see the logo color here. We need to add the styles to the new with the help of header. We'll set the new center of the new with the help of display flags again. We'll set the gap of 30 px. If I save, now we can able to see the gap of 30 px between each href. And then now we'll add the styles to the each href. So for that, here again with header and new, and then we are going to add the styles to the A of href. We'll remove the text decoration to none. It will remove the underline here, and then font size should be 20 px, and then font weight 600, and then padding 8 px and 16 px for right and left, and then we'll set the border radius to 99 px. We'll set the transition to 0.3 second, and then we'll set the color to it with the same color of black. If I save, now we can able to see the color of each href here with a gap of 30, and whenever it is active we need to set the background color to it, right? So for that, here again with the header new with a dot active, because we have already added the active class to that href. See, now we need to set the styles to it. We'll set the background color of light black color, and then whenever it is active we need to set the color to white. If I save, now we can able to see the active style here with background black with color of white. And then whenever we over to other hrefs, we need to remove this background color and we need to show to this. So for that, again I will set the header of new a of hover with the background to again the same black color, and then color of white. If I save, if I go on over, now we can able to see the styles to this. Whenever we are over this, we need to remove this, right? So for that, again with the header of new hover, we'll add the arrow to it. It will applicable to the direct child of not over element. With the help of a, it will not over anything. Here again I will set the hover here, and then we'll remove the background to none, and we'll set the color to again the black. If I save, if I go on over to about, now we can able to see the class to that over. The same thing it will applicable for all those things. When we release the over, we can set all the time for active for home. How simple is this, right? Now we have added the header. Now we need to add the session to the parallax. So I will create a session with the class of parallax. If we hit enter, it will automatically create a session with the class attribute with the value of parallax. This is what the embed abbreviation, and then inside that I'm going to create the image with source of images. We'll check the image folder to add the il1.png, and I will set the ID to this il1, and I will close the image here, and I will set the second image here. If I save, if I go to the browser here, we can able to see the il1 image on below to the header. The same thing, I will add the image source of images, and I will set the il2. This is not required the ID, so I will close it directly. If I save, now we can able to see this. Then again I will add the image source of images, will add the il3.png, and I will close this. I will copy this for 4 and 5 images, and I will change the image name here, and I will add the id to it, id to il2, and then this one as id to il3. If we save, we can't able to see that, and I will add 2 more images here with the help of image source of images tree.png, and I will close this with the ID of tree, and I will add the image source again of images, and then I will check the leaf image here, and I will add that to here. I will mention the ID to leaf. If I save, we can see all the images here, and here now we need to add the header tag of h2 with ID of title. We'll mention the value of parallax website, and then lost image source again with image source of images, We'll check what is the image is pending. The plant image is pending here. We'll add the plant.png with the ID of plant. I will close the image. If I save, now we can able to see all of the images here. So we need to style this. So again, I will jump to the style.css here. In the style.css, we'll add the styles to that class. So previously we have added the styles to the header with the element selector. Now we are going to add the styles to the class with the help of dot with class selector. We'll set the position to absolute and I will set display to flags again. We'll set all in a single line and then align items to be center and then justify content to center and then height of 100 vh and then overflow to hidden. If I save, now we can't able to see the scroll of images here because we have added all the sessions into the absolute of position. Now we'll add the styles to the parallax image of element selector. We'll set the position to absolute. We'll set the bottom to 0 and then we'll set the width of 100 percentage and we'll add the pointer event to none. If I save, now here we can able to see the images on below to this, right? So we are going to change the position to relative here. If I save, now we can able to see the parallax images on all the images at once. In the image folder, we can able to see all the images. It was splitted, but in the output, we can able to see the images on here at the same place. Now we'll add the styles to the title. So with again same dot parallax. So for the title, we can assign to the element selector or we can use the ID selector with hash with the value of title and then I will add the position to absolute here. Will set top to 50 percentage and then left to 50 percentage. This will set to the center of the screen and then we'll set the transform to translate minus 50 percentage comma minus 50 percentage again and then we'll set the color of white here and then we'll set the font size to 80 px. We'll set the text shadow to it 0 px, 0 px and 4 px and RGB a color with red to 0, green to 0, blue to 0 and all for should be 0.25. If I save, now we can able to see the Parallax website with shadow effect. If you maximize the screen, we can able to see the all the images. It was placed perfectly here. Now we added all the images with the navigation bar with Parallax website text and below to this we need to add one more session. So for that I will jump to the index.html. We are going to add the another section with id value with the embed abbreviation of hash with about. If we hit enter, it will automatically create a session with an id attribute with the value of about. Inside the about I will add h1 the title of parallax and I will close the h1 here and then below I will copy and paste the sample text to the about session. I will paste here. If I save, if I go here, now we can able to see the session of about here. And then next to this about, I am going to add the footer here with footer ID of contact. I will close the footer. Inside that, I will add one more p tag with copyright with HTML, Unicode with and hash 169 with comma. If we save with the help of this, we'll get the copyright symbol here. And then we'll add the copyright of 2024 and all rights received. If I save, if I go to this here, we can able to see the copyright and all right received. Now we need to style this. So for that again I will jump to the style.css here. We'll add the styles to that about session with the help of hash ID selector with value of about. Will add the padding to it with inner spacing of top and bottom to 2 rem and then right and left to 5 rem. Again we'll add the background color to the same black color. We'll set the color to white and we'll set the position to a relative. We'll set the z index of 100. We'll set the text align to be center. If I save, now we can able to see the parallax sample text. It will be aligned to the grass with a green color. So now we need to style the footer here. Before that, I will add the styles to the h1 of about session. With h1, I will set the font size to 40px. Now again, I am going to add the element selector of footer, and I will add the padding here again with 2 rem, right and left for 5 rem. I will set the background color to black. I will set the color of the text should be white. We'll set the text align to center again. If I save, if I go here, now we can able to see the copyright at center of the footer. Now whenever we scroll this, we need to add the effect right to parallax. So for that, we need to jump to the script.js. Here in the script.js, we are going to declare the declaration with the help of const here. With hill1, we'll add the declaration with the help of document. Document is an owner of your web page. With the help of this, with dot get element by id. To find an element, the easiest way is get by id. So if I go to the index.html, here we have added the id here. I will copy here and I will paste. If I do a console.log with hill1, if I save, if I go to the insert element here, we can see that image of hill1 here. So with the help of this declaration, we need to do that parallax effect. We'll receive the element here with the help of document. That is how the DOM tree will work. In the same const, I am going to add another declaration of hill2 same document dot get element by id, and I will set the hill2 here, and I will copy the same thing. I will paste it for hill3. And then what else? And I need to add the declaration for tree and leaf. So I will copy this again. I will paste it here. I will change the declaration to tree here. I will change the declaration to leaf. And I will change the value of id to tree here. And here with the leaf. And then next thing is title. So title equal to document dot get element by id with title. Now we have declared all the declaration here. Once we scroll, then only we need to do that, right? How we can find that scroll? Here in the JavaScript, we have a windows with event listener of scroll. So we'll add the window dot add event listener with the event of scroll, and then function of value will get the scroll value here. So I will add the console.log here with window.scroll. If I save, if I go here, if I insert this in the console, if I scroll, we'll get the function of scroll here. We'll find the scroll X and scroll Y. If I go here, if I go and scroll, we are scrolling to the Y, right? If it is a Y, with the help of this scroll Y, we are going to do that. So the X is irrelevant because we don't have the scroll to the X, only we have the direction of Y. So I will add the declaration of let with value equal to window dot scroll y. With the help of this value, we are going to append the values to that particular images and text. So first I will add the styles to the title dot style dot will set the margin top equal to value. So we need to append some values with the px. So I will add value into 1.1 plus will add the string concatenation of px. If I save, if I go here, if I scroll, nothing will happen. So margin top is still 0. So we go into debug here with script.js. So I will scroll. Now we can get the debug pointer here. I will navigate to here. Now this is 0 because we have made a mistake here. Instead of scroll y, we have added the screen y. So I will add the scroll y to this. If I save, if I go to the browser, if I scroll, now we can able to see the text is moving inside the grass. How cool is this, right? So I will close this. If I scroll, now we can able to see the effect of that animation. So the same thing for others like il1 dot style dot bottom, because this should be goes to the bottom to the parallax, right? Whenever we scrolling. So we have added the minus value of hashtag 2 into plus px. We'll add the string concatenation. If I go here, if I scroll, now we can able to see the first till was scrolling to the value. The same thing we'll do for others. So I will copy this and I will paste it for 2 times. This is for second hill and this is for third hill. And now we need to add the styles. It should be goes to that left hand side, right? So here instead of bottom, I will change these things to left and then L3 to left again. And instead of minus, we remove the minus and we'll add the values to minus 1.5px and then for this directly 1.5px. If I save, if I go to the browser, now if I scroll, now we can able to see that, right? How cool is this? The hill 2 and 3 it was going to the left side and then hill 1 is going to the bottom side and then now we need to add the styles to this leaf too. So again I will jump to the script.js, will add the leaf of style dot top equal to again with the value of asterisk will sum of minus 1.5 will append the string concatenation of px. Now if I go here, if I scroll, now we can able to see the it was going to the top. It should also go to the left hand side, right? So it should be go in this direction. So I will copy the same again with the leaf and instead of top I will add to left also. Instead of minus 1.5 I will remove this minus. If I save, if I go here, if I scroll, now we can able to see the scroll effect, right? So it is going to the topward direction. How simple is this? If we scroll, the Parallax website is going inside the leaf and then we can able to see once we are on the top of the scroll. If we click to about, it was not scrolling again. So we need to add the styles to it with the help of style.css. We'll add the HTML to element selector of with the property of scroll behavior will set to smooth. If I save, if I go to the website, if I scroll, now we can able to see once we click these things to about, see now we can able to see the smooth animation effect to the session. We appended this about to the parallax session about and once we scroll we can able to see this. How simple is this, right? Finally we have completed this beautiful parallax scrolling website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. I hope this video will be helpful for you. Please like and share this video and also subscribe to my channel Sharat Chandar K to watch more like this one. If you have any questions or what JavaScript topics do you want us to cover in future videos? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep coding and keep learning. See you in the next video. Happy coding. Bye for now. Have a nice day.